Bill Wiley was a longtime Merritton Ward councillor, deputy mayor of St. Catharines, and principal of the former Merritton High School. He was also a founding member of the city's Heritage Committee. This oasis here on Glendale Avenue in St. Catharines now honors the dedicated community builder.
He was so connected to Merritton and what he did in our community, both as a councillor, as a high school teacher and principal, and then just an individual who wanted to preserve really the history of our community. And so it's important that we acknowledge people like Bill Wiley, who have given so much of their time and talent. And this Parkette, we're standing on the former Welland Canal, and this was a passion of his. And this is a fitting reminder to the community of those who have come before us, who have helped build St. Catharines and in Merritton to where it is today.
I remember Bill quite fondly as a councillor and interviewing him many times. One of the things I did not know about Bill was his familial links to the town of Merritton, to the whole area.
His family, the Hastings family, go back to the actual origins of Merritton as when it became a city in the early 1900s. And so I think it was his grandfather that was the first mayor of Merritton. So you really understand the lineage there. And when he was a city councillor, he really focused his attention on how do we continue to build up our community? How do we continue to preserve the space that is Merritton today? And he did a wonderful job, and this is a fitting tribute for a great man who will be long remembered.
Trish, how would your dad feel about this Parkette being in his name?
Well, I think he'd be a bit overwhelmed. As I mentioned, I think my brother and I both feel he'd be a little bit embarrassed. You know, I mentioned he really felt that we work for the betterment of the community, and you do that because you want to, and it's the right thing to do. But I think he would be really pleased. I really think he'd be proud, as we are, because green spaces were important to him, and to be recognized with a green space for the work that he did and the commitment that he had to, you know, all things Merritton and the City Council, the whole of St. Catharines. I think really he would be quite proud and honored.
As his daughter, how do you feel standing here in this Parkette?
It absolutely is. I'm really proud to be representing my family. I know my brother would love to have been here. Unfortunately, it wasn't possible, but we're equally proud of this occasion and what it represents. And, you know, it's really quite special. I drive by here all the time, and, you know, I knew this was coming. It's been in the works for a couple of years with the hard work that everybody's done leading up to this. And, you know, it's just very exciting to have it finally here, and you know, to see his picture there and see the you know, all that information about what he's done and what he's meant to the community is really quite something.
Regional Chair Jim Bradley knew Merritton Bill Wiley when he was a student in Mr. Wiley's class at Grantham High School.
Bill was a very dedicated teacher, much beyond the classroom itself. He was involved in extracurricular activities. He even let me make speeches in his class because I was involved in public speaking, and Bill took time out of his class to allow me to practice in front of his geography class. So it was appreciated very much. But his work with extracurricular activities, staff loved working with him. Students will always remember him, and I think a lot of people who went through Grantham High School, Merritton High School, and wherever else Bill happened to be a principal or a teacher would appreciate the fact he's been honored this way.
Merritton will always be Merritton. And so recognizing Bill's work really does capture the history of Merritton and also helps preserve the identity of what Merritton has always stood for.
The Bill Wiley Memorial Parkette is located at the corner of Glendale Avenue and Mountain Street at Mountain Locks Plaza. Reporting in St. Catharines for The Source, I'm Mike Balsom.